Yeah, we're ready for the future.
Guys, give it up for BarberSociety Live.
Let's go. Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Let's go.
Welcome to BarberSociety Live. It's been a fantastic event so far. What an amazing event it's been. And I'm so excited to be here in Amsterdam on stage in front of all of these barbers from all across Europe. And yeah, what a collection and what a show we're about to put on for you today, guys. We're here. We're going to show off the Race collection. This is a collection that we've curated over the last year, and we're working with loads of different types of hair, races, Asian, Afro-Caribbean hair, white hair, and we're really, really excited to present this collection to you guys here today. We have been in Amsterdam now for almost 3-4 years, and the growth that we've seen of this company has been crazy in the Netherlands, and it's been really, really a pleasure to be a part of this journey and to be here with everyone. And I can't wait to share a little bit today, a little bit about myself, a little bit of the brand here, and then really to showcase the collection and what we do with hair at MENSPIRE. But first of all, what I want to do is I want to introduce you to a man who has led the way in this industry for a very, very long time. He's been pushing the boundaries, he's been inspiring people, motivating people, and really taking the men's hair industry from where it was 10 years ago to where it is now. We've seen huge growth, and it's presented lots of opportunities for myself and loads of people in this room. So everyone give it up for the pioneer of the industry, the man who's leading the way and pushing the limits, Josh Lamonaca.
Never give up. Never give in. You might come across hiccups, but never stop believing. If you got a dream, then chase it. If there's an obstruction that stands in your way, then replace it and turn it into an obsession and embrace it. You see, when I stand on stage, I don't crave attention. I want people to pay attention. Listen, look, learn, hear, feel. Feel the passion that runs from my heart, that connects through my brain and that is released through my hands. You see, hair has a physical meaning to people. Hair has become a material that we use to give us emotion, and we use that emotion to never give up and never give in. Because every setback is a setup for a comeback.
Yeah, fall back too close, you ain't even know me. Trust my brothers from way back from the north. Stay in the yard, spend it like they owe me. Gotta stay select, don't come around to me, better come correct, different life.
Alright, BarberSociety Live, make some noise! Let's go! All right, guys, welcome to Barber Society Live. For me, it's always a pleasure to come here because I love to see so many people come from Belgium, come from Austria, Germany, so many places in Europe that we get to see everyone come and be a part of this community at Barber Society Live. So first and foremost, please, can we give Miranda and Mark and all of the team at Barber Society Live one big round of applause for this incredible event. So, finally, guys, I would like to present to you our race collection here live in Amsterdam. So, guys, I remember when I first started cutting hair, there were a few haircuts that I was afraid to do. Such like afro hair, such like curly hair. There were a few different styles that really, I shat myself if it walked through the door. And whenever I had that feeling, I wanted to understand how can I abolish that feeling. Hands up if you've had that feeling here before. Someone's come in the door and you thought to yourself, nah, I can't do this. This is not what I want to do. Now, for me, what I understood was that the more and more knowledge that I acquired, the more and more confidence that I would have. And the more confidence I would have, the easier any particular hair type became much more easy to do. So today, guys, what we want to do is we want to share with you our race collection, and this is all about understanding all of the hair types and characteristics that we get to see in the barbershop. In 2025, no longer do we want to see, only one particular type of community stick with that community. When I grew up in this industry, black people go to black people, Asian people go to Asian people. It doesn't work like that anymore. 2025, okay, we have to abolish this community and start to rein in and bring everyone into the barbershop without fear. So guys, without further ado, I want to welcome you to the race collection. All right. So, Owen.
Okay, guys, so the model that I'm presenting you today is Pepe. And to be honest, the best thing about this collection and the thing that I love about the most is the diversity. Not just the diversity in the races, but the diversity in the races with the different styles that we can do. Some of the models that we're going to present today are longer, slick back, but this is a look that I'm really, really loving at the moment. It's something that maybe if someone had come on stage and done a mullet maybe 5 years ago on the stage, we would have looked at them like they're crazy. But as it's moved, maybe a few years ago, we started to see it come into high fashion onto the catwalks. We started to see more of these mullety, more disheveled shapes. And yeah, this is a look that I'm really enjoying doing. So what I'm doing right now with the hair is I'm just working in this area between the front of the ear and the hairline. And I'm just working in this area with first my number 2. And now I'm working with, again, my number 2. So what I just want to showcase to you now is a little bit of a taper on how I've worked this. I've worked first some really nice graduation through the sides, and I layered the back. I added lots of texture all throughout the shape, and I'm going to even add some more at the end. And this area here, when he came in, it was very, very wide, and it didn't complement his face, it didn't bring out the features. So what we've done is we really slimmed this area down with our scissor work. And then I've worked in a really nice clean skin line here and a really nice number 2 here. And I'm just going to work through this area now with my 0.5. And this is something that in the salon, when you come in here, this, as Josh says, when you gain more knowledge and when you understand on a deeper level sometimes hair, it gives you a lot more confidence to execute certain techniques. And maybe this is something that maybe I saw on Instagram and it scared me a lot, but I took the step over fear, and always on that next step over fear comes great execution and great results. So I'm going to work just with the 0.5 on my clipper. You can see on stage on the screen. And I'm going to just work from my skin line with the 0.5 right into the number 2. And if I flick it just like this, I can get really clean results in a really fast amount of time. And then we have a complete taper. So when something like this comes into the salon, it doesn't scare me anymore because I have the knowledge and I know I can execute this nicely. And that comes from studying, practice, and being in the right environment, which I want to touch on a little bit more, is being in the right environment. But I'll pass it back to Josh and we can see what he's doing.
All right, thank you very much. So, as you can see, guys, Eoghan is working on something a lot more textured with a nice taper. Okay, what we have is something a little bit more alternative, something that might challenge you. Okay, something that, you know, maybe you haven't done before nor seen before. So today, guys, I'm working with a flat top, okay, but with a mullet as well. Now, guys, I like to challenge myself, okay? We had a question, you know, last night when we was doing some staff training, you know, how do you push yourself? And I think one of the greatest things about pushing ourselves is, you know, just kind of going beyond the limits of maybe what you're capable of, because you never know. You might surprise yourself. And for me, personally, I like to challenge myself when I'm in front of people because it adds more pressure to me, okay? And this is the time where maybe I might surprise myself. So today, guys, we're working with a flat top on the top of the hair, and then through the back it's completely layered. So as you can see, we got the camera up. Okay, fantastic. So as you can see, the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking the hair through my fingers and I'm simply taking it super short right at the crown by taking the hair underneath, okay? That leaves me with this kind of fuzziness under the bottom. Eventually, what happens is, as we get towards the front, you can see the hair is lengthening. It's increasing in length. So there's a guideline that I have right at the front that I want to maintain, okay? So there we can see, eventually now, it's super long. In comparison to the back, it's super short. So I'm going to continue working all the way through, and then I'm going to blow dry, and then we're going to eventually work with the clipper. Eoghan.
Okay, nice, guys. So I've just finished my fade, which now I want to frame. So we see this all the time in the salons, pretty everyday haircut, but something that I really want to focus on now is really framing this fade. You can see on the camera. Yeah, nice. We have a really nice blend. And what I've done with my tapers, I've just worked in this area between the front of the ear and the hairline, and I've really opened up this area, opened up his face. And what I want to do now is, again, the same way this jawline and this cheekbone really pop on the face, I really want this shape up and this shape over the ear to work completely in balance and in symmetry and harmony with each other to, again, add more beauty. Because when you look at haircuts and we're trying to discover why does this look good, what does make this look good, sometimes you don't understand, but it's the same when you look at someone you think, wow, they're beautiful. It's normally because there's a lot of symmetry and balance. So when I'm working here, I want to see even symmetry and balance in my shape that I cut with the scissors, but also in the lines that I create here. So I'm going to work now with the corner of the clipper and just work completely round and frame that fade.
All right, all good. Okay, so guys, I've just cross-checked my work. Okay, what I'm looking at doing now is blow drying it all the way through. Now, the main thing for me is to make sure that I have a really smooth silhouette when it comes to my blow dry. So at the moment, what you can see is I have a huge disconnection from the back, okay, to the crown. But eventually, when that's smoothed through, you won't see it. It'll become like this illusion of a silhouette. My idea is to have something super flat here and then eventually extend all the way out. So I'm going to blow dry it all the way through. Where's Birdman? Where's our host man? Is our host man here? Guys, I want to open up eventually to some questions when eventually we get into, you know, working on the top. But for now, all I'm going to do is simply blast through with a strong speed and a medium heat. All right, Eoghan.
All right, guys, so I just want to tell you a little bit about MENSPIRE Netherlands. Last year we came here, it was MENSPIRE Amsterdam, but now we've expanded into Maastricht and we've also expanded into Haarlem. And I remember when I was working in London, I was working with Josh and the team there, and they told me that they're going to open up a salon in Amsterdam. And I was like, wow, it's sounds pretty amazing. And the first salon opened, and then the second and the third, and now we have 9 salons across the Netherlands. And I visited here 3 years ago for the first time, and I completely fell in love. We done a lovely staff training last night with Dove Palmer, and one of the questions I had is, how do you push yourself to that limit, and how do you understand hair deeper, and how do you get to that next level? And what he said was, it's the environment that you surround yourself in. And I can vouch for that, because when I came here to Amsterdam and I saw beautiful salons and a beautiful team of people who are all working together to create something a lot bigger than we could ever imagine. And the environment comes down to many ways. It was the environment of the people that you surrounded in, the environment of the salons, and we say, show me your friends, I'll show you the future, but almost if you show me your salon, you can show me your standards as well. We're working in really beautiful salons with a really beautiful team, and everyone's always pushing themselves to that next limit, and you've always got someone who's doing something better than you and something you can learn from someone else, and the team we have here is great. Now we're trying to push our education more. We're going to start running some courses, and the team's growing all the time. I'm sure when we're finished the show, we can take a step back to the stand and we can get really, really close to some of our team, see them presenting on stage, and you know, if anyone wants to come and have a chat about how the life is at working at MENSPIRE Netherlands and anything that we do here, please come over to the stand, have a chat with us, have a talk, and we'll be more than happy to share some of our experiences and let you know what we do.
Owen, take us all the way back, okay? Take us all the way back. How did you get to Amsterdam? When did you join MENSPIRE? And what sacrifices did you have to make to get to where you are now? An owner, someone from Belfast, okay, Northern Ireland, now a part owner of a MENSPIRE salon in the Netherlands.
So now I'm one of the directors here in MENSPIRE Netherlands, and my journey for MENSPIRE started way back. It started like 8 or 9 years ago, actually, when I was 16. I met Josh on a course that he was teaching in Ireland, and that first moment that I had on that education course with MENSPIRE, I knew this is where I wanted to go and where I wanted to be. They were pushing. I was working in a barbershop where you could do good haircuts and that's all you could do. And when I saw the philosophy and the mindset that MENSPIRE were working with to elevate the standards of haircutting, but also to elevate the standards of your life that you can provide for yourself through cutting hair. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about it. And then I'd done another course in London with Josh. But actually, after the first course, I sent Josh a few texts, and he says, yeah, we're going to get you out to London. We're going to get you a nice interview. I'm going to sit you down with me and Sam. And then about 3 months later, I realized he never replied to me after I texted him back. So I had to go to London again and do another course. And with that other course, I managed to get the interview and I joined the team. And then I worked through the team in St. Albans when MENSPIRE only had 2 salons. And I started off as a graduate stylist. I wasn't even a stylist on the team at the time. I was graduated from the academy and I wasn't even a proper stylist. So I started off there, I was cleaning a lot, I was watching a lot, and I'd moved from Ireland at this point just to join the team.
What was the biggest sacrifice moving away? Because you moved away at a very early age, and I'm sure there's a lot of people here that are probably bored, stuck, feeling like they've hit a plateau in their career. And one of the things that you did, you moved away at an early age. How did that make you feel?
To be honest, I probably should have been scared. I probably should have been very nervous, but I was so excited and I was relishing the opportunity so much of joining a brand and being able to do what I wanted to do with hair that I almost didn't even consider the other options. But it was a big sacrifice. I think my parents were more scared than I was when I said at 17 I was moving to London. But for the opportunities that I could gain, it was something I really wanted to do. And through working with the brand, I learned new standards and new ways to cut and new ways to operate salons. And I think it's the quality that we have in the haircutting and the quality that we have in our salons that allows the brand to grow, because there's so many passionate people in the team, and it's really a pleasure to be a part of. I came to Amsterdam 2.5 years ago, and I've managed to work my way again from creative director here to now running the academy and now being able to be director of 2 salons here in the Netherlands. So the opportunities that MENSPIRE has presented me has been amazing. The growth that I've seen in myself personally and through my technique as well has been fantastic. And yeah, I'm just excited to continue the journey. Now that I've got the opportunity to have my own salon and have teams of people working with us, I just want to keep creating the culture and building the standards of the brand here in the Netherlands. And I think we're really leading the way.
Guys, give it up for Owen Murphy. A true and unique talent. I remember going to his the salon where he was working when he was 16 years old. And I used to see him doing this with his scissor, 16 years old. The technique that he had, it caught my eye. And I thought to myself, yo, this guy, he is talented. And lo and behold, the man that he's become today, not only a great hair cutter, but also a great leader, a great mentor, and a great human being. Give it up, Owen Murphy.
Thank you, Josh.
So guys, we have Birdman, the host today. Okay, give it up, Mr. Birdman. That's it, come on. So guys, at this point, okay, I'm just gonna start to finish up on the flat top. If anyone has any questions, please pop your hand up. We're gonna come to you with a microphone, okay, and let's have some discussion, okay? All right, Birdman, take it away.
Anyone?
Let's go.
Anyone has a question? I mean, the guy is here right now. No one has a question, are you sure?
No problem. That's also okay.
That's good. I guess you're clear enough, Josh, on
That's
everything,
it.
on all the information.
Perfect. Okay, so guys, as you can see, I'm working now with my scissor. Okay, I don't know if you can see in the, there we go. All right, look at that. So as you can see, I'm kind of really refining that shape, that silhouette. That's it, that's better. Again, making sure that everything looks really plush and nice. We have a little tiny graduation through the sides here. And think of it like a square layer on the top, okay? It's just simply a square layer, really, you know, super tight in the center, and it gets longer as we get wider.
Okay, so guys, I've cut a really solid shape into my haircut backstage, and there's a lot of structure in there, and we do work in MENSPIRE with a really technical approach to cutting hair, and I think that's what allows us to develop our skills in cutting hair by developing a really strong foundation and a really strong core fundamentals of cutting hair, that we understand the dynamics in hair, how it operates and how to work with different hair types. And that's really the technical approach that allows us to build upon those really strong foundations of fading, graduation and layering that we teach in our academy. And upon those three pillars that we talk about, that allows us to build something, and it allows us to build a bigger and stronger understanding of hair. But what I'm doing now is something that's more on the visual side. Although I'm working very visually, I'm still working with the technical approach. I'm working all through the center of the hair, just by picking up the hair section by section, and all I'm doing is I'm analyzing the ends of the hair and just discovering if there's any parts of the hair that are maybe a little bit more dense and maybe that are a little bit more thinner, and if the hair's really packed together, like I mean really packed together, and you can't even see the light through the hair. What I will do then is I'll work directly into the hair shaft with my scissor, and what that will do, that will really break up the hair, and that will allow it to move just like that. And then that's when we start to see this really nice texture coming into the fringe. And as I said, he's got really strong features, a really strong face shape, and I think what's really going to balance that and work really well with those features is some really loose texture. So really having a bit of harmony between that really strength through the face, but also the softness through the texture and through the shape.
All right, so I think what we will do is we will begin to share with everyone the race collection. Everyone want to see the latest collection? You want to see the imagery?
Yes.
Let's hear it, let's go. All right, please, run the video. If you jump up. To me. We got the video. Here we go. All right, guys, check the screen out in the center. You come to the side. Just relax.
Stand up, bro.
All right, guys, what do you think?
See.
Amazing. Okay, guys, so here are our first two models. Okay, make your way to the end, have a little look. All right, thank you very much, guys. If you just wait here until we complete. Where is all the rest of the models? Can you keep them here so that we're ready for the finish? Come. All right, guys, next up, a little bit more for you guys. You want some more haircuts?
Yeah.
You want some more? Or we finish? Let's go. Okay, so here I have a super cool haircut. Okay, currently I've completed one side, and what we can see is a much more of a textured crop. Now, although on the top, okay, it's somewhat familiar to what you might see with a textured crop, on the sides it's got that more kind of shaggy feeling. So what we have here is a kind of short little square layer. Eventually here on the sides we have something slightly increasing in length, and then all of a sudden we have this long disconnection that becomes a lot more playful with the texture. Again, you can see the fringe on the outline is slightly curved, so that when he wears it, he can wear it slightly coming to the side, and we can start to flick out and play with the texture. So on this side, what you can see currently, okay, is the disconnection. So here we're being quite playful with the technique. You can see here on the bottom, that's what we're leaving. We are not touching. Because if we do eventually try to touch it, what's going to happen? It will become really, really thin. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take this top panel, we're going to layer it through, and then we're going to leave everything on the bottom. All right,
Okay.
Eoghan.
So, I am now working through the back of my model's hair. I've already prepped the taper on the sides at the start, and then just created a nice base length all around. I'm going to be working with a nice shape up through the fringe, nice contours through the edges as well. That's really going to frame this fade. I know it's looking pretty nice in my eyes, to be fair. I'm pretty happy with it. But what I can't wait for, and after, you know this feeling when you're in the salon and you've done a really nice fade and you know it's looking good, but you just can't wait for the end to put the shape up in because you know he's going to be like, in the mirror. So that's what I'm waiting for at the end. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work through the back. And I'm going to work through the back of his head in 3 panels. In MENSPIRE, when we're cutting hair, we work with systems. In our salons, in our academy, we also work with systems because we believe systems never fail. And if we can have something to always rely on and something to always work with, no matter what situation arises, no matter what comes into the salon, no matter what hair type, hair texture, nothing, we have a system and we know how we can tackle that problem. So I'm going to work first through the back in the center. So I'm going to fade this area from my number 2 all the way down to my skin with a technique that we like to call descending fading technique. So I'm going to start with my number 2, my number 1.5, my 1, and my 0.5 and 0 just to blend out that line. And I'm going to work through the center panel first, because what that's going to do is this flat surface on the middle will be really easy for me to work on, and then I will have a guide for both sides. So I'm going to work through the center first, then I will have this nice clean area, then I have a reference for both sides. I can have a lot of balance through the whole taper. So I'm going to get started.
All right, thank you very much. So guys, as I move on to the top, we're good? No, I'm good. As I move from the top into the sides, you can see we have a really large disconnection, okay? And if you can see that from there, let me see. That's it, there you can see, okay? Now, the last thing we want to do, okay, is, kind of connect that through. What we want to do is kind of disguise the disconnection. So I'm going to work my razor, okay? And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of that hair from the shorter area to the longer area. I'm just going to kind of scoop it through. Therefore, just kind of giving this like a very soft concave feeling. So it has an introduction into the length. So
Josh,
again,
I've got a question.
quite a unique way of working to connect the two. The last thing you want is just one obvious short layer and one obvious long layer. Okay, so the same thing on the other side. Now again, as you can see, I'm kind of working quite visually. Again, there's my guideline, can you see? And then here's the long length. All I'm going to do is very simply just razor and pull my hand back. So it kind of has that sort of, you know, scooping feeling. Now guys, as you can see, both myself and Owen are working, you know, quite fluently, quite freely. But again, throughout our methodology, there's a lot of structure. Okay? There's a lot of method that we use at MENSPIRE Education. And the reason we believe it's important to kind of have that 50-50 is because we know that in between something that's being technical, something that's being visual, that's where the success lies. That's where the beauty lies. We see so many people nowadays really good technically at cutting hair, great technique, but maybe they fail on the visual aspect, the final finale, the styling. Or you've got other people who have great imagination, they're visually very good, their styling's amazing, but the haircut doesn't last a week because the structure is not there. At MENSPIRE Education, what's important and what we teach people is that you have to have the methodology, the foundations, but you also have to be good visually and have some form of imagination, and that's where the creativity lies. And everything in between that, that is where the success lies. So, through the back, as you can see, we have another disconnection in here. I'm going to keep that clipped up. Here, what we have currently is a lot of weight, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to work through with the razor on this particular occasion. Again, the razor is a unique tool and it allows us to have a lot of softness through the hair. You can already see that his hair is kind of fine to medium. It already has a lot of softness. So if his hair is quite soft and all of a sudden I go through and I now punch in, you know, this hard scissor line, it's going to be difficult for me at this point to really soften it out. So I'm going to share with you, okay, how we're going to do that. Very simply what I'm going to do, I'm going to work with a vertical section all the way through. I'm going to bring his head slightly back. I'm going to work from the top. And now the top part, I'm going to keep the length here for the dynamic. But everything beneath it, you can see, is kind of longer. So I'm going to keep my hand completely stationary. And this is where the secret lies. Keeping your hand completely still. And all of a sudden, it gets shorter. So technically, what we have here is something shorter and something longer. And we know what happens with shorter hair and longer hair. The short hair pushes the long. That's where we're going to get volume in the crown. Eventually, we have this disconnection, and we're going to do the same technique as I did on the sides, where we scooped it out, and it has an introduction into that little mullet. Okay, Eoghan.
Okay, nice. So I've completed my taper through the back. Lots of nice balance all the way through. So a little bit again. I'm going to work similar to my last model with the shape up and the balance on both ends.
Guys, has anyone got any questions? Pop your hand up. We'll get Birdman to come to you. I think we have a shy audience today.
A little bit shy.
It's all good. It's all good. Listen, I hope everyone is having a good time. And, you know, Amsterdam is always a special place. You know, many, many people come here for holidays. And no doubt some of you guys are also taking 2 or 3 days out as well. You know, I think the thing that I love about Amsterdam is it's just such a creative hub. And you find so many people here that have moved from different countries. And it brings a real element of kind of this racial community. And I think this is why it's really important, and it's such an honor for us here to bring this race collection here in Amsterdam, because we see all types of hair. And that's what's important for us to run a successful business, to be competent in all hair types. Anything that walks through the door, you know you have the skill and the ability and the confidence to execute it. And I think this is really what we want to try and achieve through our education at MENSPIRE. Yeah, go.
Yes, here we go.
Let's go.
Okay, so Josh,
How you doing?
are you using a straight razor or a feather razor?
Oh, you want to know about this little thing here?
Of course.
Okay, what's your name?
Mauro.
What's your name?
Mauro.
Mauro.
Yeah.
Mauro, nice to meet you. Okay, so this right here, what I'm using is a brand new innovation. Okay, actually it hasn't been released yet, but we do have 20 of these here at our MENSPIRE stand. So this is a feather razor. However, the innovation is that we have a comb as well. So you can imagine it's very, very efficient when working. I have my comb, I turn it over, boom, I have my razor.
Okay, and why are you? Why did you choose for a feather razor and not a straight razor?
So for me, this one is a serrated edge. For me, it's a lot more control. Okay. With the straight razor, I leave that for the face. You know, I leave that for shape ups and stuff. This one for me is much more hair based. Would you like to try it?
Of course.
Come, let's go, guys. Give it up for Mauro. Wow. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Okay, so just be careful because most people, when they start with this, accidentally use this as the comb. Okay, so flip that over real quick. So all I want you to do, we're going to work underhand. Okay, so that's it. You're going to grab it in your hands. So pop the comb from this way first. That's it. That's going to be a little bit more comfortable. That's it. You're going to go square. Okay, there we go. And then just tick it, tick it, tick it, tick. That's it. There we go. Keep your hands stationary. That's it. There we go. Guys, give it up. How did that feel? Amazing. Amazing. Good. Listen, come and see me after. This is yours.
Thank you.
All right? Well, I need it for now. Okay? Nice one. Guys, give it up. Mauro.
I'm a model after. So
Okay.
I'll get you after.
You see me backstage in that case. Fair enough. Good question. So guys, we have here, okay, I like to call it the speed blade because it's so fast. Okay, this for me is, you know, it's a unique tool, something that I've been thinking about for a long time. I had the comb and then I had the razor and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if we had something that was much more efficient? So here we have it. Guys, if you want to go and buy one of these today, we have them. They're not online. They are not online right now. So if you want to take one, you have to head to the MENSPIRE stand and feel free to go and see us and also, you know, ask many questions there as well. You know, we're very, very friendly and we like to, you know, we're very passionate about education. So, you know, I hope that you come and visit us as well. Thank you. Thank you. Eoghan.
Okay, so I've finished the shape up on the front. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work the shape up that runs over the ear. So how I'm going to do this, sometimes I've heard from students in the past, they always wonder, how do you get the shape up really fast, really efficient over the ear? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work first a little bit this way for the camera. Perfect. So I'm going to hold on the ear with this finger. I'm going to work with just the teeth on the corner of the clipper. And when I put the line on the fringe, the way that I got the line as sharp as possible was when the teeth closed on the skin on the hair. So I want to get a very similar result on the ear. So I want to keep the face of the clipper closed, but still working on a pivot all the way around the ear just to get this perfect C-cup. So if you can imagine a compass, you hold it in one place, and when you twist, you get this perfect C. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold my finger here as a center point. I can balance my clipper on that, and just with one smooth motion around a center point, I can get the really nice line that I want to achieve.
All right, so guys, we are about 5 minutes away from finishing up. So what we're going to do is we're going to share with you the complete collection of our models here in Amsterdam. So audio team, can we please run the final video? If you stand up. All right, Owen. Get them to stand up. Stand them up. What I want you to do is just stand here, let all of the models go, and then you be the final one.
Start smoking weed to get away, to forget, to get high, to relax.
All right, thank you very much. Models, welcome back. Go on, you go first. After you, say a big thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you so much for being an amazing audience. And yeah, it was a pleasure for me. I now call the Netherlands my home, thanks to Nas, thanks to MENSPIRE, thanks to everyone being here today. And yeah, thank you so much.
Guys, nice one. Guys, thank you very much on behalf of myself and MENSPIRE. I really hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of the day. Keep on learning, keep on studying, and keep on building this industry together. Thank you very much. God bless.